My beloved child, today I come to whisper into the deepest part of your soul a glorious truth you have overcome. You have stood firm, and you are now stepping into a new season you once thought impossible. Listen intently, for the words I speak today are not random but light, flowing from the source to illuminate the path you are walking. Every tear, every wound, every moment when you felt you might collapse, none of it was meaningless. They are witnesses to the strength within you and the very stones upon which the foundation of today's victory has been built. Do not think that your presence at this moment is merely the result of chance. No, my child, there is nothing accidental in the plan I inscribed from the very beginning. Every rise and fall, every turning point, every loss has been arranged for a greater purpose that human eyes cannot always perceive. When you ask why you had to walk through the darkness, why you endured pressures that seemed beyond your strength, it is within those very questions that the answers are being formed. I have allowed you to pass through refining fire so that you might emerge pure as gold. I have led you across barren fields so you might learn to thirst for the living water. I have let you experience long silences so that your heart would learn to hear the whisper of the Spirit. Do not forget that victory is not defined by never falling, but by rising each time you do. It is your steadfastness in the storm that proves the flame within you cannot be extinguished. You have triumphed, not because you were stronger than all others, but because you chose to trust. You chose to walk when the path was unseen. You chose to hold on to hope when everything appeared to collapse. Those choices, those spiritual choices, are what have brought you to the glory you now behold. I want you to see the larger picture unfolding. Your life is not merely a string of days, but a sacred symphony carefully composed, where each note of sorrow and each note of joy blend into an eternal melody. When you pass through pain, the melody deepens, but that very depth makes the triumphal chorus to come all the more radiant. When you walk in light, the melody soars, lifting every soul around you. In this union of themes, you become part of the great song heaven is already singing. Never think that your existence is small or meaningless. On the contrary, you are an irreplaceable link in my vast design. The world may dismiss you. Others may fail to see your true worth, but in my eyes you are a treasure beyond price. Before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before your first cry, I placed a mission upon you. And today, as you hear these words, it is proof that you are walking the very path set for you from the start. You once thought your weakness would hinder that calling, but I tell you that it is in weakness my strength is revealed. As the scripture declares, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:2-9. Do you see? Even when you felt powerless, that was the very moment spiritual strength was rising, upholding and shaping you for a purpose far greater than yourself. Let your heart understand, this today's victory is not an ending, but the beginning of an entirely new chapter. Like a warrior who has survived a fierce battle, you carry not only glory but also scars, not to shame you, but to remind you that you have passed through fire and yet live. Those marks are the evidence of strength, of perseverance, and of the love I have poured upon you. From this point on, I call you into a new season of sowing and reaping. The field before you is open and full of promise, yet it also asks for courage to step forward. I have not brought you here merely to enjoy the harvest for yourself, but to become a light for many others. Think of the lighthouse standing firm against the storm. It does not exist for itself, but to guide ships lost at sea. So it is with you. You have been forged to become a sign of hope, so that others may look at you and find faith. Your strength does not come from status, possessions, or the praise of people. True strength flows from the union of your soul with the eternal source. When you open yourself to that love, you become unshakable. You may face storms, but storms cannot overthrow you. You may walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but the light within you will never fade. This is the seal I have placed upon your life. I see in you limitless potential, the power to love, to heal, to create, to transform the world around you. You may think your small acts mean little, but remember, a single spark can drive away all darkness in a room. One drop of water can set ripples moving across a whole lake. Every loving word, every kind deed, every moment you choose, forgiveness over anger, these are seeds you sow into the field of life, and they will sprout and bear fruit beyond your understanding. As you enter this new season, I call you to keep a heart of gratitude. Gratitude is the key that opens the storehouse of blessing. When you cherish each moment, you will discover the miracle already present in what seems most ordinary sunlight streaming through a window, the laughter of a child, even the gentle rhythm of your own breath. All are gifts, reminders that you live within the embrace of an eternal love. You have overcome, but this victory is not yours alone. It is a living testimony that love is stronger than pain, that faith is greater than fear, that hope can shatter the chains of despair. Use your story to encourage those who are faltering. Let them see that if you could stand, so can they. Become the proof that light always conquers darkness. And now I invite you to take a deep breath and let your soul absorb this truth. You are the chosen child. You are the bearer of a mission. You are the living witness of an unconquerable strength. Walk forward with your head held high, your heart wide open, and your mind steadfast, for the journey ahead still holds many wonders. Remember always that I am with you, watching over and sustaining you at every step. Every heartbeat, every breath echoes my presence in your life, and that will never change. My beloved child, when I tell you that today's victory is only the beginning, I want you to understand that everything you have gone through was not merely to prepare you personally, but to shape you into a channel through which blessings will flow to many others. Your mission is not simply a destination, but a journey of outpouring, a call to live beyond the limits of yourself and become a sign of hope, of love, and of light. You have been trained to stand firm where others may waver, to carry peace into places of chaos, and to be a living reminder that no matter how dense the darkness, there remains a light that cannot be extinguished. You may ask, how can I fulfill such a great calling? I answer that it will not be by your own strength, but through deep connection with the eternal source from which you were born, to which your soul continually returns. Each time you turn inward to listen to that gentle voice, you are laying a foundation within yourself. In the stillness you hear wisdom the world cannot give. In simple moments you receive strength unseen by the natural eye. Do not despise the quiet moments of prayer. Do not underestimate the small acts born of love, for they are golden threads weaving the great tapestry of your life. My child, as you step into this new season, keep your heart tender to instruction. Do not let pride cloud your vision, and do not allow old wounds to become walls that block you from what is new. True strength is not found in rigidity, but in the soul's flexibility, the ability to bend to new winds, to receive new lessons without losing your essence. The more humble you become, the more fertile your heart will be for seeds of blessing to sprout. In humility, you find freedom. In surrender, you find power. Learn to view every event through the eyes of eternity. When circumstances unfold, do not look only at the surface, for the surface often deceives. Ask instead, what am I being taught through this? How is my heart expanding? How is my faith being refined? When you look through that lens, you will no longer fear challenges. You will see that challenges are not signs of failure, but invitations to rise to a deeper level of maturity. Beloved, remember that each new day is both a gift and a responsibility. Every word, every action you take carries the power to create ripples beyond your sight. Never underestimate the impact of kindness. Never discount the worth of a sincere smile, a helping hand, or a timely word of encouragement. Those seemingly small gestures may become the guiding light that leads a lost soul home. When you sow a seed of love, you are contributing to a harvest that is not only for you, but for the world. My child, allow me to lead you into a deeper understanding of the power of gratitude. Gratitude is the lamp that lights the night. It is the bridge between the present and the blessings yet to come. When you give thanks even for what is unfinished, you open a door for transformation. When you thank me for the trials, you proclaim to the universe that you trust in the greater plan. This is not passive resignation, but a spiritual act placing your confidence in the one who has written every day of your life before it came to be. You may look back and see moments of pain, but I invite you to view them with new eyes. Each scar is a story of resilience. Each loss is an opportunity to be filled with something deeper. Like an empty field after harvest ready for new seed, your heart after pain becomes fertile soil for greater grace. Let those memories be a foundation, not a chain. Let them lift you, not pull you down. My beloved, I want you to learn how to walk by faith before seeing the whole road. Just as Abraham went out not knowing where he was going, you are invited into a journey of trust. Do not demand to see everything clearly before you begin, for it is in the unseen that dependence grows. And in dependence you find true freedom, freedom from the burden of needing to control all things. When you release the need to know, you open yourself to receive what surpasses your understanding. Beloved, know that I have not called you to live a life withdrawn, but to live expansively. Expand your thinking, expand your heart, expand the way you see others. When you expand, you become like a river holding no water for yourself alone, but flowing out to nourish the land on both sides. Do not fear depletion, for as you pour out, you will be filled. This is the spiritual principle: the more you give, the more you receive. The lower you bow, the higher you are lifted. The more you love, the stronger you become. In this new season, I invite you to live with awareness. Be awake in every thought, every word, every action. For you no longer live for yourself alone. You are becoming a mirror for others to look into. Awareness does not mean fear. It is a clear consciousness that you are carrying a precious light. That light is not meant to be hidden, but to shine. Remember the words of Scripture: you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:1-4. You are that city, that lamp, and the world needs your light now more than ever. Learn to listen more than you speak, to observe more than you judge, to show compassion more than you react. In these quiet actions, you are building the solid foundation of your influence. Do not seek prominence, seek depth. Do not run after applause. Run after the voice of conscience and the whisper of the Spirit. Do not fear silence, for in silence you will hear what noise cannot reveal. My child, walk each day in peace, even when chaos surrounds you. Peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of trust. Peace does not come from what you possess, but from knowing to whom you belong. When you realize you are upheld by an unshakable love, you will no longer fear the future. When you believe you are guided by a wise hand, you will no longer be confused by the present. I know there will be times when you grow weary, moments when you want to stop. In those moments, do not condemn yourself. Allow yourself to rest in my arms. Let your tears fall like rain that waters your soul. Then when you rise, you will find yourself stronger, steadier, more ready for the next step. Remember that even warriors need rest. Even trees need winter to prepare for spring. And my child, I want you always to carry hope within your heart. Hope is the seed of every good thing. When you hold on to hope, you hold open the gate for miracles to occur. When you nurture hope, you nurture the strength to overcome. Hope is not vague dreaming. It is the assurance that good will come, even when you cannot yet see it. To keep hope alive is to say to the universe that you believe in a greater plan and a deeper love. The road ahead holds many things yet undiscovered, but I assure you that you already possess everything needed to walk it. The strength you need is within you. The wisdom you need is waiting for you to listen. The opportunities you seek are already on their way. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you never will be alone. I am here watching, upholding, loving. Walk with an open heart, with a clear mind, with a soul full of gratitude. Let each step you take become a living prayer, each breath a song of thanksgiving, each action a testimony of the unshakable love at work within you. When you live this way, you will see that you are not merely fulfilling a mission, you are becoming the very message the world needs to hear. My beloved, when you have passed through seasons of trial, when the days of darkness have receded, I invite you to step deeper into understanding. The victory you now stand in is not the end of pain, but the beginning of a transformation at Talav, your core. Understand that every crack in your heart, every fragment of the past, is now being joined by my hands into a new vessel, stronger, more beautiful, and brighter than before. Like a potter patiently shaping clay on the wheel, I have been molding your soul through each season and circumstance, so that today you may become a finely tuned instrument in my hands, ready for deeper purposes. You may have thought victory meant simply surviving hardship, but now I invite you to see victory differently. It is the ability to keep your heart tender in the midst of adversity, to choose love instead of bitterness, to be courageous in staying pure when the world invites compromise. That is the true victory, one that cannot be taken from you regardless of circumstance. When you reach this point, outward triumph is only the reflection of inward triumph. I want you to be aware of the new role you now bear. You are no longer merely walking your own path. You have become a living sign for many searching souls. They will not look to you for perfection, but for authenticity, for hope that even after falling one can rise again, that even after fire one can emerge refined. Do not fear this role, for I have not given it to you as a burden, but as a deep joy, the joy of seeing your life become water for the thirsty, shade for the weary. Prepare your heart for a new expansion. Expansion is not only an opportunity, but also a responsibility. You are invited to live like a river flowing into the great sea, not holding water for yourself, but bringing life wherever you pass. When you give love, compassion, wisdom, you will not be emptied, but filled all the more. This is the spiritual principle. The more you share, the higher you are lifted. The more you humble yourself, the more strength is given. You may think, where will I find the strength to step into what is new? I tell you, it is in weakness that you discover strength. It is in surrender that you find power. Do not seek strength in what you can control, but in the trust you extend. Just as a tree must drive its roots deep into the soil to stand firm against the wind, you must anchor your soul deep in the source to stand steady amid the waves of change. Do not let the greatness of the calling frighten you. I am not asking you to do everything in one day. I am only inviting you to be faithful in each step, each moment. When you are faithful in little things, you are being prepared for greater things. When you choose love in ordinary matters, you open the door for miracles in extraordinary ones. Like a farmer who sows without seeing the harvest, yet trusts the seed, so you also must sow each seed of love, each seed of wisdom, each seed of trust. True transformation is not a change of circumstances, but a change of sight, of response, of love. When you allow love to become the center of every choice, you enter into a work far larger than yourself. When you let faith lead instead of fear, you open paths your eyes have never seen. When you let gratitude fill your mind, you transform not only your own reality, but also the reality of those you touch. I know that at times you still feel small in the vastness of the universe. But I want you to remember, you are not a stray speck of dust. You are a singular beam of light reflecting glory. This universe holds billions of stars, yet each star has its own light. So it is with you. Your light has its own hue, its own frequency, its own mission. Do not compare yourself to the light of another, for each light holds a distinct place in the greater tapestry. Let your light shine in its own way, in its own place, in its own time. My beloved, in this new season, let trust be your foundation, humility your shelter, and love your unceasing flow. Do not chase the noise of the world, seek the whisper within. Do not fear the silences, see them as invitations for your soul to be renewed. Do not fear new challenges, see them as invitations to discover new strength within you. I encourage you to go deeper into the life of prayer. Prayer is not only speaking but listening. Prayer is not only asking but offering. Prayer is not a ritual but the very breath of the soul. When you pray, you are sinking your roots deep into the source of life. When you listen, you are opening the door for wisdom to pour into your mind. When you surrender, you are creating space to receive more. Do not let the world's hurry steal your stillness. Do not let the outer noise drown out the inner call. Do not let outward success cause you to forget inward purpose. I am calling you to live with a sacred balance, standing firmly on earth while looking to heaven, acting in the present while being conscious of eternity. This is the path that leads you to enduring wisdom, to peace that cannot be taken away. Remember, everything you have walked through is converging into a vast reservoir within you. Do not see these things only as memories. See them as spiritual assets. Each time you forgave, you built a stair. Each time you chose patience, you raised a pillar. Each time you trusted, you laid a cornerstone. Now the inner house of your soul has been built strong, and from it you can shelter, uphold, and inspire many others. I see the future before you, opportunities to love, paths to serve, fields where you will sow seeds. Do not fear the future, for it is not an enemy. It is a blank canvas awaiting your brush. Each choice you make today is a stroke. Each thought you nurture is a color. Each action you take is a pattern. Paint with courage, with faith, with gratitude. Let your canvas become a masterpiece not only of your own making, but of the love flowing through you. Take a deep breath and feel life moving within you. Every breath is proof that you are still invited, still loved, still entrusted with opportunity. Do not let any fear steal this from you. Do not let any darkness dim that light. You are not merely a survivor of trials. You are one transformed by trials. You are not only a receiver of blessing, you are a bearer of blessing. You are not only one who is led, you are one who will lead. My child, I do not ask for your perfection. I ask for your sincerity. I do not expect you never to fail. I expect you to learn from each failure. I do not want you to live to please everyone. I want you to live true to the light within. When you live in this way, you will find yourself free, strong, and filled with peace, even while storms swirl around you. Step into this new season with joy. Joy is not a result, but a choice. Joy does not come after everything is perfect. It is the posture you take while everything is still forming. When you choose joy, you agree with life. When you choose joy, you align with the source. When you choose joy, you open the door for light to flood in. Walk forward with that joy, with that gratitude, with that faith. Let each day of your life bear witness that victory is not merely a destination, but the way you walk. Let every word you speak, every action you take, become a seed sown into the soil of life, so that one day you may look back and see that your field has blossomed not only for yourself, but for countless souls who need a sign that light still exists, hope still remains, and love still endures. My beloved, as I lead you through the deepest valleys and set you upon the heights of victory, I do not do so merely for your pride, but to reveal the great mission etched into your soul from the beginning. Recognize that the transformation you have undergone is not the conclusion of a journey, but the foundation for a new phase where the light within you may shine stronger, deeper, and wider than ever before. You are invited to become a living witness that love can heal, faith can move mountains, and hope can lift despairing hearts. I've granted you a special grace, the ability to discern meaning even in what seems meaningless. When others see only ruin, you see opportunity for rebuilding. When they see only darkness, you perceive the faint fire burning. When the world sees only failure, you see preparation for triumph. This gift sets you apart not from worldly knowledge, but from the intimate connection between your soul and the Creator of all things. Never forget that true wisdom is not knowing everything, but knowing where to place your trust. The world may teach you how to strive for personal gain, but I teach you a higher path, the path of humility, love, and service. The world may honor outward success, but I see true value in quiet fidelity. A small act of love carries more worth than 1,000 grand gestures performed for display. Let your path be shaped by love, not ambition. As you walk into this new season, learn to maintain inner stillness even amid the noise. There will be times when the clamor of the world tries to drown out the whispers of the Spirit. There will be words of doubt, challenges that distract, temptations that exhaust. But remember, inner stillness is where I meet you, where you hear the deepest wisdom. Do not fear silence, for in it you will recognize that you are not alone. In silence you feel my presence surrounding, supporting, and gently guiding you. My child, you have become a sign of hope for many souls, not because you are perfect, but because you dared to walk through trials while keeping your faith. Your story, with all its wounds and healing with all its tears and smiles, will become a more powerful testimony than any sermon. The world does not need more empty words. It needs to see living truth, and you are proof that miracles still happen, that love still endures, and that light cannot be extinguished by darkness. Become a sower in this season. Sow seeds of love where there is hatred. Sow seeds of forgiveness where there is bitterness. Sow seeds of hope where there is despair. You may not see the results immediately, but trust that every seed you plant will sprout in its appointed time. Just as rain falls without returning to the sky, without nourishing the earth, so every act of kindness you perform will never be wasted. Do not allow worldly comparisons to dim your unique light. Your light carries a singular hue, and the world needs it. If you try to be a copy of another, your light will be obscured. But when you are true to yourself, when you live faithfully in your assigned mission, that light will shine brilliantly, bringing life to countless souls dwelling in darkness. In the days ahead, keep gratitude like a continuous song within your heart. Gratitude will keep you humble in success and steadfast in trials. Gratitude is a compass to prevent you from losing your way, a spring that softens your heart. When you are grateful, you no longer live in lack, but in abundance. Gratitude opens doors to receive even more blessings. True peace does not come from avoiding trials, but from walking in trust through them. Peace is knowing that even when you do not know what tomorrow holds, you know who holds tomorrow. Peace is surrendering control to place your life in the hands of the Wise One. Peace is sitting quietly amid the storm, trusting that the storm cannot remove you from the embrace of love. Do not forget you were not called to hide, but to shine. Like a lamp placed not under a basket, but on a stand, you are invited to illuminate the path for others. The light you carry is not yours alone. It is the eternal love flowing through you. Do not fear that your light is too small, for even a single ray can guide the way through the thickest darkness. Learn to see all things through spiritual eyes. When you see injustice, do not see only suffering. See opportunity for justice to manifest. When you see brokenness, do not see only loss. See opportunity for healing. When you see rejection, do not see only loneliness. See opportunity for unconditional love to be expressed. You will see that this world, though full of darkness, remains fertile ground for light to shine and love to be revealed. There will be days when you are weary, moments when you long to return to old paths. But remember, you cannot go back, for you have been transformed. Once your eyes have seen the light, you cannot return to darkness as if nothing had happened. Once your soul has tasted new life, you cannot return to the old death. You have been reborn, and you are walking in a new life, a life marked by victory and eternity. My child, I call you to walk in steadfastness. Do not let the winds of public opinion sway you. Do not let criticism discourage you. Do not allow fleeting temptations to divert you from the path. Let faith make your steps firm, let love steady your heartbeat, and let hope illuminate your eyes. When you walk with such steadfastness, you will see that you not only overcome, but also become a mountain of stability amid the ever-changing currents of life. I am always with you, in every moment, in every breath. When you are weak, I am your strength. When you are confused, I am your wisdom. When you are lonely, I am your presence. When you are afraid, I am your peace. You never have to walk alone, for my hand is always supporting you. My gaze is always upon you, and my heart always beats with love for you. Therefore, step forward with courage. Live as one who has been transformed. Let every word you speak, every action you take testify that you are truly called, chosen, and commissioned. Let your life become a song of hope, a wave of love, and a lamp shining for those who are lost. This is your season, and I invite you to live it fully, strongly, faithfully, and spiritually, so that the light within you may blaze brightly, never to be extinguished. My beloved, sitting in stillness for a moment, and listen carefully, for I am about to reveal a profound truth. All that you have endured, all that you are becoming, and all that you will do are not separate. They unite as pieces of a magnificent picture, a masterpiece only the Creator can paint. You see fragments, sometimes believing them meaningless, but I assure you, every piece is placed perfectly to form a singular, unparalleled masterpiece, your life. I have seen the times you have fallen. I have heard your sobs in the darkness. I have witnessed every moment you courageously rose again. Do not think that these moments of weakness diminish your worth. It is through them that you have become more authentic, more relatable, and more capable of empathizing with others' pain. It is precisely through these cracks that light can enter, and from these same cracks your light can shine forth. Like a vessel with a fracture that no longer confines the light within, but allows it to radiate outward, so too can your seemingly broken experiences become channels for love and life to flow through you, illuminating the world. My child, I do not call you to be one who never errs. I call you to be one who always learns from mistakes. I do not expect you never to stumble. I expect you always to rise after falling. Perfection is not my standard. Sincerity, faithfulness, and a willingness to be transformed are. The world may chase counterfeit perfection, but I see the beauty in a soul that humbly acknowledges its need for help and courageously opens itself to healing. From this day forward, consider every moment in your life an opportunity to live faithfully in the mission you have been given. When you smile at a stranger, you plant a seed. When you forgive one who has hurt you, you break invisible chains. When you reach out to help the weak, you extend my hand across the earth. Never underestimate the small things, for in my kingdom, the seemingly small can hold the power to change a life. Remember that your influence is measured not by the number of accolades you receive, but by the number of souls touched and transformed by your presence. You may never hear words of thanks from those lives, you may never know whom you have saved from despair, but I know, I see, and I record every act. One day, when you look back, you will marvel that the moments you thought insignificant created the greatest impact. I call you to live in unity with yourself, with others, and with the Creator. Division is a tool of darkness. Unity is the mark of light. When you are united with yourself, you are no longer torn by inner conflict, but live in harmony. When you are united with others, you become a channel of peace, not strife. When you are united with the Creator, You walk in the flow of grace and no force can stop you, my beloved. Remember that your journey is not yours alone. It is part of a greater current, a flow connecting countless souls seeking meaning and purpose. When you walk in the light, you not only illuminate your own path, but also open the way for others. When you choose to live in truth, you encourage others to do the same. When you dare to love unconditionally, you awaken in their hearts the desire to be loved and forgiven. My child, you are living proof that love is stronger than hatred, light is stronger than darkness, and life is stronger than death. Do not regard this as a mere beautiful slogan. See it as the reality you are living and expressing. Every time you choose love over hatred, you are affirming this truth. Every time you choose hope over despair, you are declaring it. Every time you choose trust over doubt, you are proclaiming it. Your life becomes a living testament to the power of love. When I place a mission upon you, I also provide everything necessary to fulfill it. You do not need to seek validation outside yourself, for your value has been inscribed upon your soul from the very beginning. You need not strive to be someone else, for your true nature is sufficient to glorify love. Release the pressure to be perfect in the eyes of the world and simply live authentically in the light that has been given to you. My child, there will be times when the burden feels too heavy, but remember that I will never let you carry it alone. When the weight becomes too great, hand it over to me. When your legs grow weak, let me lift you. When your heart is weary, let me renew it. Know that strength does not come from trying harder, but from trusting and surrendering more. Submission is not failure. It is the door through which power flows. Beloved, I desire for you to live in steadfast hope. Hope is not an illusion, but an anchor that holds your soul secure in the midst of storms. When winds sweep, the anchor keeps you from drifting. When waves rage, the anchor keeps you standing firm. This hope does not depend on circumstances, but on unchanging love. Though everything around you may shift, this hope remains steadfast because it flows from the eternal source, not from the world. Child, let joy be your daily strength. Joy is not superficial. It is the life force from within. It does not come from favorable circumstances, but from the certainty that you are loved unconditionally. When you hold on to joy, you move lightly, even amid challenges. When you hold on to joy, you radiate positive energy to those around you. Your joy can be a small flame that rekindles hope in hearts grown cold. Now look ahead with courage. Do not let the darkness of the past obscure the light of the future. Do not let old wounds prevent your steps. Do not let fear stop you. You are called, chosen, and commissioned to step into a new season, a season of growth, influence, blessing, and abundant life. And know this, my child, I am always with you. Every step you take, I am there. Every decision you make, I guide. Every tear you shed, I remember. Every smile you wear, I rejoice. You are never alone, and you will never be forsaken. My love for you is eternal, unchanging, unfailing, and unconditional. Let this truth be the unshakable foundation of your life. You have overcome. You are walking in victory, and you will continue to triumph, not by your own strength, but by the love flowing within and through you. This victory is not only for the present, but it also opens the door to the future. That future is not dim. It shines with promise, hope, and endless joy. Now that you stand firm in victory and have been transformed at your core, I want to lead you further to see the picture beyond the limits of yourself. Lift your head and look wide, for you are not only called to live for yourself, but to be an integral part of a grand plan established from eternity. Your journey is not a solitary path, but a river flowing into the sea, connecting with countless other streams to form the ocean of life, love, and light. What I am doing to you is not only to lift you, but through you many others are lifted as well. Like a seed sown into the earth, it is not there to exist alone, but to die and produce hundreds, even thousands of new seeds. Your life is the same. Your experiences, wounds, and victories are all seeds sown to bring a harvest to many. Do not think that what you have endured is only meaningful for yourself. It is a treasure that I will use to bless your community, even the world. Now is the time for you to broaden your vision to see the unity between you and all humanity. You are not separate, you are not alone, you are not a disconnected piece. You are placed within the greater picture where every soul, every life has its role. When you live according to your light, you do not only shine for yourself, but you help illuminate the greater picture. When you are faithful in your part, you support the part of others. When you walk in love, you make the flow of grace more abundant for all. True strength does not lie in isolation, but in connection. A single ember separated from the fire will quickly grow cold, but within the common flame it burns fiercely. So are you created to unite, to burn brightly alongside other flames, to form a torch that lights up the night. Do not fear opening your heart to connection, for it is in communion that you will find strength, support, and deep joy. My child, let your vision extend beyond the limits of self. When you remain bound by personal concerns, the burden feels heavy. But when you see yourself as part of a grand plan, you will realize that every step you take, every action you perform, carries eternal value. A silent prayer of yours can alter the destiny of an entire family. An act of forgiveness can open the door to freedom for a generation. A decision to live rightly can lay the foundation for thousands to follow. Sometimes you may wonder, does my life truly matter? Do my actions really make a difference? I affirm to you, yes, you matter, and what you do has significance far beyond what your eyes can perceive. You do not act alone, you act within the current of love, within the power of light, and in unity with an eternal plan. What you sow today may seem unseen, but it will bloom in harvests yet to come that you have never imagined. Child, learn to see all things with eternal eyes. Fleeting successes, temporary failures, all are small in comparison to the everlasting picture. Do not let momentary joys make you prideful, nor let temporary difficulties cause despair. Place your trust in the unchanging and anchor your soul to the eternal. Just as a tall tree roots deeply into the earth to stand firm through storms, so must you root yourself in everlasting love, so that nothing can shake you. In this season, I invite you to be a creator not only for yourself but for those around you. Build an environment of love within your family, foster hope in your community, cultivate peace at work, and sow encouragement in friendships. Do not think yourself too small to create something great. Just as a small drop can start a stream and a tiny seed can grow into a forest, a small act from you can begin a wave of vast change. I do not call you to carry the whole world, but I call you to be faithful in your part. When you are faithful, I add strength. When you move forward, I make the way. When you dare to trust, I accomplish beyond that trust. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need a willing heart. You do not need to know everything in advance. You only need to walk in faith. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be sincere. This journey will not always be easy. There will be times you feel lost, days when you want to stop. But in those moments, remember, you do not walk alone. I walk with you. I lift you. I remind you that you are moving within the plan of love. Every step you take echoes in the heavens. Every right choice you make is recorded in eternity. Let your heart overflow with joy, knowing that you are participating in a work far greater than yourself. Every day you are writing a chapter in the story of love. Every action you are weaving a thread into the tapestry of grace. Every prayer you are placing a stone in the sacred house. You are not merely living. You are creating, collaborating with me to bring heaven to earth. Move forward with gratitude, faith, and love. Expand your vision. Do not only see what eyes behold, but what is eternal. Remember, you are not merely a witness, you are an instrument. You are not only a receiver, you are a giver. You are not merely a survivor, you are a victor. And that victory is not just for today, but for all the days to come. My beloved child, as I lead you into this new season, my desire is not only for you to enjoy victory, but for you to become a pillar of unity, a bringer of light where there is division, a sower of peace where there is unrest, and a supporter of souls that sway. The world you live in is full of brokenness and darkness, seeks every way to sow suspicion, create division, and stir conflict. Yet in this context, your mission is clearer than ever. You are called to be an instrument of unity, reminding humanity that every soul is woven from the same source of love, and that each person, however different, bears the divine image within. Do not underestimate the power of your presence. When you enter a room, the light you carry can melt the frost in the atmosphere. When you speak words of kindness, they can soothe hardened hearts. When you extend a hand of forgiveness, that action can tear down walls built over many years. You do not need to do great things to change the world. Being faithful in small acts allows you to participate in my grand work. Just as a single drop creates ripples across the lake, each act of love from you has the power to impact many souls beyond what you will ever know. I know that to live as an instrument of love and unity, you need perseverance. There will be times others misunderstand you, days when you are rejected, even opposed for daring to live in the light. But remember, your steadfastness does not come from others' approval. It comes from knowing you are walking the path of truth. When you cling to truth, winds may blow, waves may rise, yet you will not be swept away. You will stand firm as a mountain, and that steadfastness will encourage others who sway to find their footing in you. My child, true strength is not found in power or external influence, but in humility. The world often sees humility as weakness, yet in my kingdom, humility is the foundation of strength. When you are humble, you open your heart to wisdom. When you are humble, you are no longer bound by the need to prove your worth, for you know your value was inscribed in your soul from the beginning. When you are humble, you become fertile ground for grace to flow. And it is precisely this humility that makes you great in my eyes, even if the world does not recognize it. The unity I call you to build is not limited to your family or immediate community, but extends across all humanity. When you pray for someone far away, you create an invisible bridge connecting their soul to yours. When you choose not to judge others for their differences, you open a space for love to work. When you dare to step across the boundaries that humans have set, you reflect my image, the one who does not distinguish by skin language or nation, but sees all as beloved children. Understand that each small daily decision carries eternal influence. When you choose love instead of hatred, you are engraving an everlasting mark in the heavenly realm. When you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, you release not only your soul but also the soul of another. When you choose hope instead of despair, you open a door for miracles to enter. Do not think that only grand events matter. In my eyes, every faithful moment, every choice made in love, is a treasure preserved in the eternal storehouse. My beloved child, there will be times when the path feels too long and the challenges too many. Yet in those very moments, I want you to remember that you never walk alone. I am beside you, lifting, guiding, and even when you are too weary to take a step, I will carry you on my shoulders. My love for you is not only present in joyful days, but is even clearer in the darkest days. It is precisely when you feel lost that I am nearest, whispering that you are within my plan and you cannot be abandoned. Consider this journey as a continuous flow of transformation. You are not called to stand still, but to grow without ceasing. Every challenge, every experience is an opportunity for you to expand the boundaries of your inner self, to become more complete in love. Do not fear change, for it is through change that you discover new depths within yourself. Just as a tree grows through 4 seasons, your soul requires seasons of trial to be refined and matured. My child, every sacrifice you make for love is never in vain. When you choose patience instead of contention, when you choose to share instead of hoarding, when you choose to listen instead of retorting, you are participating in a work greater than yourself. Others may not recognize it. The world may see it as folly, yet in the eternal realm, every act is inscribed as precious gems. One day, when you look back, you will see that those quiet sacrifices became a solid wall supporting many generations. Let faith, joy, and gratitude be the 3 pillars of your life. Faith will keep you standing when you cannot see the path. Joy will strengthen you to walk lightly, even in hardship. Gratitude will keep your heart soft and open so nothing can harden it. When these 3 combine, you become a lamp that cannot be extinguished, a well that cannot run dry, a testimony that cannot be denied. At times, you may feel the weight of the world is too great, but remember, you are not called to carry the entire world. You are called to be faithful in your part. And when each person is faithful in their part, the whole picture is completed. Do not let comparison discourage you. Focus on the task entrusted to you. Do not seek to become someone else. Be the best version of yourself in the light. I want you to engrave in your heart that you already carry the power to change the world around you, not by force, not by imposition, but by love. That love is quiet yet strong, unassuming yet enduring, selfless yet transformative in all it touches. When you allow that love to flow through you, you will see that unity is no longer a distant dream, but a reality forming day by day. My beloved child, as I gaze upon you now, I see not only a soul emerging from victory, but a lamp set high to illuminate many. I do not call you to keep that light for yourself, but to let it shine everywhere. Like a city on a hill that cannot be hidden, like a lamp not placed under a basket, you are invited to shine in the midst of this world. And that light does not come from your own effort, but from the eternal life flowing through you. In the days ahead, you will realize that every choice you make carries influence far beyond yourself. When you choose patience instead of impatience, you sow seeds of peace. When you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, you open the door to healing. When you choose love instead of selfishness, you spark life into an entire community. What seems small is actually creating ripples reaching hearts you have never met. I want you to know that you are not merely carrying your own story, you carry the heritage of generations. What you do today will affect the tomorrow of many others. You are like a link connecting the past, present, and future. When you live faithfully, you honor those who came before and open the way for those who come after. When you walk in the light, you give the next generation a path that is broader, easier, and filled with hope. My beloved, I call you to remember that this journey is not merely to seek success for yourself, but to become a living testimony that love is real, transformation is real, and victory is real. The world is full of skeptical voices, broken hearts, and souls groping in darkness. They do not need more theories, they need evidence. And that evidence is your life, a life transformed, a heart that knows love, a soul that knows forgiveness, hands ready to lift others. I have sown within you the seed of perseverance. Therefore, when others fall, you remain standing. When others become discouraged, you continue on. When others give up, you hold firmly to faith. This demonstrates that your strength does not come from the world, but from the eternal source. That perseverance will serve as a sign to many souls that they too can rise, walk, and triumph. I know there will be times when this calling feels heavy. But do not fear, for I do not place a burden on you without also granting you the strength to bear it. Like an eagle spreading its wings on the wind, you will learn to let the Spirit's wind lift you. You do not need your own strength to fly. You simply open your wings and allow the wind to carry you. Your calling is not a burden but wings. When you rely on me, you will see that instead of exhaustion, you are soaring higher than ever before. My beloved, let love be the driving force behind everything you do. Do not let ambition lead you, for ambition can mislead. Do not let fear guide you, for fear will paralyze you. Do not let the praise or criticism of the world dictate your steps, for it shifts with each passing day. Let love, pure, strong, unconditional love, be your only source of motivation. When love is the root, everything you do will bear fruit. When love is the foundation, everything you build will endure. When love is your compass, you will never lose your way. I call you to walk in unity with your family, with your community, with those who also carry light. Only when many lights come together can darkness be fully pushed back. A single light illuminates a corner, but many lights can shine across a city. A single drop cools a small area, but many drops form rivers and oceans. Do not fear opening your heart to connection, for in unity you will find greater joy, greater strength, and deeper purpose. I want you to learn to live each day as if it is a precious gift. Do not let today pass without sowing seeds of love. Do not let opportunities slip by without speaking words of encouragement. Do not let a single moment go unused without shining your light. You cannot know whose life may be touched by your small actions. Perhaps a smile of yours rescues a heart from despair. Perhaps a word lifts an entire life. Perhaps an act of kindness opens the door for an entire family to step into transformation. Child, do not wait for the perfect moment to begin. Begin today in your present circumstances. The perfect moment will never come, for it is now. Each day you live is an opportunity to sow, to love, to create. Remember, you do not need to do great things to make a difference. You only need to be faithful in small things, and that faithfulness will open great doors. My beloved, I invite you to walk with confidence, not confidence in yourself, but in the eternal love surrounding you. You do not walk alone. You do not fight alone. You do not carry this mission alone. I am with you. I am your strength, your wisdom, your peace, your joy. Trust that every step you take is accompanied by my presence. Every word you speak carries the weight of the Spirit, and every action you take can become a miracle for someone else. Child, when you look back, you will see that your journey is a wondrous story, from dark days to the bursting forth of light, from stumbles to rising again, from tears to abundant smiles. And that story is not finished. It continues, and you are the one holding the pen, writing it through each choice, each action, each step. Write a story filled with love, hope, and light. Write a story that when others read it, they will see the strength to continue living, to continue believing, to continue loving. Keep courage as you enter this new chapter. Do not worry about what you do not yet know. Do not be confused by what is unclear. Take each step in faith, and you will see the path unfold before you. I have gone before you, I walk with you, and I follow behind to keep you safe. You are secure in my embrace, and no power can snatch you from my love. So walk forward with an open heart, with full joy, with steadfast hope. Live as one who is called, chosen, and commissioned. Let your life become proof that light always triumphs over darkness, love always triumphs over hatred, and life always triumphs over death. This is your time. Live it fully, love without reserve. So continually, and let the light within you shine to the ends of the earth. What you have experienced is not only preparation for yourself, but a call to become a pioneer, a one who goes first, opens the way, and becomes a sign for those who follow. Remember, not everyone is ready to enter the journey of light, but when they see you, they will find courage. You are not merely carrying your own story. You carry a flame capable of igniting flames in the hearts of many others. My child, I know there are days when you feel you are not enough, that your limitations are many, that the mission is too great for your strength. But I remind you, I did not choose you because you are perfect. I chose you because you are willing. I did not entrust you with this mission because you have everything. I entrusted it because I know you will walk in faith. Your strength does not lie in self-confidence, but in trusting me. Like a fragile clay vessel that contains a treasure, so are you outwardly weak, yet inwardly holding the divine power at work within. My beloved, I want you to realize that maturity is not reaching a point where you no longer face difficulties, but learning to face difficulties with wisdom and peace. Maturity is not the complete absence of fear, but standing firm even when fear is present. Maturity is not always happiness, but maintaining joy even in the midst of trials. When you reach that place, you will see that no circumstance can take away the peace within. No event can shake your foundation. In this season, I invite you to live with the deep awareness that each day you walk is part of the eternal tapestry. Do not let any day pass in vain. Do not dismiss ordinary moments, for in my eyes, no moment is insignificant. When you listen to the voice of a friend, when you embrace a loved one with love, when you pray for a soul in pain, all hold eternal value. See each day as an opportunity to sow seeds, to build, to love. I also want you to understand that spiritual maturity means learning to let go. Let go of control, let go of the need to know everything in advance, let go of burdens that are not yours to carry. Letting go is not failure. It is trust that a wiser hand is guiding you. Like a child holding a parent's hand while crossing the street, you only need to place your hand in mine and walk. You do not need to know where the path leads, only that you walk with me, and that is enough. In this season, I invite you to be a source of encouragement for the weak. You know well what it is to fall, to rise, to endure and overcome. Therefore, you have the ability to lift those who are walking the path you have walked. Show them that darkness does not last forever, that dawn will come, that life is stronger than death. You do not need all the answers. Your presence and your love are enough to uplift a soul. I also want you to learn to be a builder. Build an atmosphere of love within your family. Build trust in your community. Build unity in every relationship. When you enter a place, let it become better because of your presence. When you speak a word, let it be a bridge rather than a wall. When you act, let your actions inspire rather than divide. Remember, you are not just passing through life, you are leaving a mark. My child, I call you to live with patience. Patience is not passivity. It is the enduring strength to wait in hope. Patience is knowing the harvest will come, even when sprouts are not yet visible. Patience is believing the promise will be fulfilled, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Patience is continuing to walk, even when you do not yet see the light at the end of the path. In patience, you demonstrate trust in the greater plan, knowing that all things are beautiful in their appointed time. I know that patience will sometimes test you, for you desire to see immediate results. But remember, a flower needs time to bloom. A tree takes years to grow. Precious metal requires fire to be refined. Likewise, your soul needs time to become complete. Do not be discouraged by slow progress, for each small step matters. You may not see yourself changing daily, but when you look back over a long journey, you will be amazed at the person you have become, stronger, deeper, filled with more love. I also want you to learn to treasure simple joys. Do not wait for great events to find happiness. Joy can be in the morning sunlight, in the laughter of a child, in a timely word of encouragement, in a quiet moment of peace. When you learn to value these small things, you will realize you are always surrounded by miracles. This appreciation keeps your heart soft open and ready to receive more goodness. My beloved, remember that maturity does not mean you must be strong at all times, but that you know where to find strength. When you are weary, turn to me. When you are confused, listen to my voice. When you are lost, remember that I am holding your hand. Maturity is not about never needing help. It is knowing when to seek it. And I promise that whenever you call, I will answer. You are never abandoned, and you never have to walk alone. Child, I also call you to be a bringer of hope. In a world filled with fear, you are invited to speak of faith. In a society full of skepticism, you are invited to live in truth. In a time of division, you are invited to sow seeds of unity. Do not think you need a large platform to make a difference. Faithfulness within your small circle of influence will gradually spread light far and wide. A single word you speak can touch one person, and from that person the impact will multiply without end. I want you to understand that every step you take carries significance in the eternal realm. Every tear, every smile, every sacrifice, every act of love, all are recorded. Nothing is overlooked. Do not think that your efforts are in vain, for in my kingdom not a single drop of sweat falls without purpose. All contribute to a sacred legacy, which one day you will see shine brighter than anything you could ever imagine. Let your heart be full of hope, your mind filled with peace, and your soul brimming with joy as you step into this new chapter. Do not fear, for you do not walk alone. Do not doubt, for you are walking within a plan already ordained. Do not lose heart, for you have everything you need to fulfill your mission. You need only to remain faithful to love and to continue walking. And I promise that you will witness miracles, not only in your own life, but in the lives of many others through your presence. I have brought you through many journeys, so that now you stand in this place of maturity. But understand that maturity does not mean an ending. It is the beginning of a new depth where you are called not only to live for yourself, but to sow seeds for a greater harvest. Know that each step you take, every choice you make, every word you speak, carries weight beyond your personal limits, shaping not only your own life but also the legacy you leave for generations to come. Remember that perseverance is a hallmark of maturity. You may be accustomed to seeing immediate victories, but lasting triumphs rarely arrive instantly. They are forged through days of faithfulness, nights of prayer, moments in which you choose to stand rather than give up. Like a towering tree that takes years to grow tall, you too must be patient for your maturity to become steadfast. Do not be discouraged by slow progress, for every seed sown in tears will blossom in joy at the harvest. My child, I want you to see that faithfulness is the foundation upon which all else is built. Faithfulness is not flashy, yet it is strong. It does not boast, yet it endures. Faithfulness is continuing to do what is right, even when no one sees, choosing love, even when it is not returned, pressing forward, even without applause. In the eyes of the world, faithfulness may seem ordinary, but in my eyes it is a treasure more precious than gold. For in faithfulness you reflect my nature, unchanging, steadfast across generations. Dare to be a pioneer. A pioneer often walks paths no one has walked, faces obstacles no one has overcome, and bears the doubts of those who do not yet understand. Yet it is through the pioneer that the way is opened for others. Remember Abraham, who dared to leave his homeland for an unknown land, and through his obedience, an entire nation was established. Likewise, the courage you show today may lay the foundation for blessings for generations to come. As you walk in this pioneering role, there will be times you feel alone. There will be days when you are misunderstood, even opposed. But I promise you are never alone. I go before to prepare the way, I walk beside to support you, and I follow behind to protect you. When you feel weak, remember that it is in your weakness that my power is fully revealed. You do not need to know everything. You only need to remain faithful, stepping in the light each day, and I will handle the rest. Child, building is not only for today, but also for tomorrow. You are like a mason placing each stone, perhaps unable to see the completed structure, yet knowing each stone contributes to a strong house. You cannot see all the results of your work, but in the eternal realm it forms a legacy no one can erase. When you sow a seed of love, it may bloom in your own life, but it may also blossom in the lives of your children and grandchildren. When you choose forgiveness, that action may bring freedom to many generations. When you live faithfully, your life may become a mirror for those who have never met you. There will be times when you wonder, do I really have the strength to carry this mission? Remember, I do not call you to bear the entire world. I call you to be faithful in the portion given to you. When each person is faithful in their portion, the whole work is completed. Do not let comparison discourage you, for you are not called to be anyone else. You are called to be yourself, a unique version created by me, entrusted with a mission no one else can fulfill. In this season, I call you to live as a sower. A sower does not fear loss, for they know the harvest will come. A sower does not stop when results are not yet visible, for they trust that the earth will bear fruit. Likewise, do not cease sowing seeds of love, seeds of hope, seeds of forgiveness. Your eyes may not yet see the results, but in the eternal realm these seeds are sprouting. One day you will rejoice in reaping a great harvest from what you have faithfully sown. I also want you to learn to walk with courage. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, but choosing to act even when fear is present. Courage is not the absence of trembling, but the refusal to let trembling prevent you from moving forward. Courage does not come from your own strength, but from knowing that you do not walk alone. When you place your trust in me, courage will flow, and you will see that you are capable of things you once thought impossible. My child, let your words and deeds become seeds sown into this earth. Do not waste your words on the meaningless, but use them to encourage, to heal, to build. Do not squander your actions on futile matters, but let them bring about positive change. You may not know who is watching you, who is listening, who is being uplifted by your presence, but I know, and I will use everything you offer to create miracles. Remember that everything you do in love will never be lost. Even if the world forgets, even if history does not record it in the eternal realm, all is inscribed, and your reward is not merely temporary success, but the joy of seeing that your life has made a difference in many lives. One day you will witness souls saved, families, renewed communities restored, all because of the faithfulness and love you have sown. My beloved child, after all, I want you always to recite this prayer on the journey ahead. Almighty Lord, living God, creator of all things, in heaven and on earth. I offer this prayer with all sincerity, asking you to hear the voice of my heart. In moments of weakness, confusion, and fear, I acknowledge that within myself there is not enough strength to overcome the trials that life places before me. Yet in you, I find an eternal source of power. In you, I find the light that guides my path. In you, I find complete peace. Lord, please strengthen me on days when I feel weary, discouraged, or uncertain before important decisions. Grant me patience to endure trials, wisdom to discern what is right and good, and the courage to walk on the path of righteousness. Pour the radiance of your love into my soul so that all fear, doubt, and anxiety may be dispelled, and so that my heart may be filled with hope and faith. Lord, I beseech you to uphold my spirit so that I may not falter in the face of hardships, not shrink before difficulties, nor be swayed by the temptations of the world. Help me to see challenges as opportunities to grow, to learn patience, and to recognize your presence in every circumstance. Teach me that every step, every pain, and every failure is a precious lesson, and that all have purpose within your perfect plan. Great God, grant me a strong yet humble heart, so that I may serve others with love, share joy with the lonely, comfort those who suffer, and maintain a peaceful soul amid the chaos of life. Transform me into an instrument of your light, peace, and love, so that through me you may extend your blessings and presence to those around me. Lord, I pray for your strength upon my family, my loved ones, and all who face difficulties in life. Protect them, support them, and illuminate their paths, so that their hearts may overflow with hope, their souls find peace, and they may feel the eternal love you hold for all creation. Fill lonely hearts with your presence, confused souls with the light of faith, and troubled minds with your guidance and wisdom. Almighty Lord, empower me spiritually, that I may pray ceaselessly, trust absolutely in your power and love, and maintain hope, even when all around seems to collapse. Help me to offer every word, action, and thought to you, so that my life becomes an offering of thanksgiving, praise, and service. Illuminate the path I walk, so that I may always move in the light of truth, justice, and love. Grant me physical strength, Lord, so that I may have health, endurance, and the energy to fulfill the duties you entrust to me. Protect me from illness, accidents, and all dangers, so that I may serve you and others with my whole heart. Grant me perseverance, resilience, and fortitude, that I may overcome every trial without losing heart or faith. Lord, endow me with wisdom and a spirit of learning, so that I may discern good from evil and live in accordance with what is right. Grant me the capacity for diligent study and work, patience in my endeavors, faithfulness in my responsibilities, and a spirit of progress in all circumstances. May all my efforts be blessed by you, that my actions may benefit myself, my family, and the community. Lord, grant me a heart of gratitude and humility, so that I may always recognize that all good things I possess are your grace. Every success comes from your power, and every joy springs from your love. May I not be prideful for what I achieve, nor despair in failure, and may I always trust that you guide each step of my journey through life. Almighty Lord, accept this prayer from my heart, a small heart, yet full of faith and hope. Grant me strength, light, peace, and love, so that I may walk through life with courage and steadfast faith, living not only for myself, but also for others, and becoming a living witness of your power and love. Lord, illuminate every step I take, sustain every beat of my heart, guide every decision, and transform all my actions into living prayers, blessings for myself and those around me. Teach me to love unconditionally, to forgive without resentment, and to live faithfully, honestly, and righteously. Grant me strength so that each day I live becomes a hymn of praise, each step a testament of faith, each word a beacon of love, and each action a means of spreading peace and blessing. May all glory, all gratitude, and all hope be directed to you alone, God Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Almighty Lord, I offer this prayer in the name of Jesus Christ the Savior, and I believe that you have heard, that you will bless, protect, and guide me in every step of my life. May every day I live be filled with your light, peace, love, and presence. Amen. I call you to live with gratitude. Gratitude keeps your heart tender, opens your eyes to the miracles in every moment, and helps you never take grace for granted. When you are grateful, you will see blessings, even in trials, light, even in storms, and the formation of something new, even in loss. Gratitude turns your life into a song, enabling you to praise even before you see full fruition. Step forward with perseverance, faithfulness, and courage. Live as a pioneer, sowing seeds for a great harvest. Let every step you take become a legacy for generations. Every word you speak offers encouragement. Every action you perform plants seeds of love. Remember, you do not live only for today, but for tomorrow. Not only for yourself, but for many others. And I promise that when you are faithful, you will see fruit multiplied 100-fold, 1,000-fold, not only in your life, but in the countless souls touched by your light. My beloved child, as I bring you to this stage, I want you to pause for a moment to reflect on the journey so far, not to dwell in the past, but to recognize your own growth. Every wound you thought was a burden now testifies to your strength. Every stumble you considered a failure now becomes a stepping stone for resilience. Every tear you thought meaningless now becomes a seed for a joyful harvest. Do you see, everything has meaning, and that very meaning has shaped you into the strong person you are today. Maturity does not mean the elimination of all fear, but knowing how to walk with faith even when fear is still present. Maturity does not mean controlling everything, but learning to let go and trust in the wisdom of the one who leads. When you learn this, you will no longer be shaken by circumstances, for you have found a firm footing on the eternal rock. I call you to live as one who carries a legacy. Legacy is not only what you leave behind when you depart from this world, but what you are sowing every day, every hour. Every word you speak can become a legacy for a soul in need of hope. Every act of love can become a legacy for a family in turmoil. Every time you forgive it can become a legacy for a generation set free. Remember, you are writing the story of your life not only for the present but for the future, and that story will continue to resonate even when you are no longer present in the earthly realm. My child, the greatest legacy you can leave is not wealth, not fame, but love. The love you sow today will continue to bear fruit across generations. The love you give will never be lost, for it is eternal. When you live in love, you are building a structure that even time cannot destroy. For love is the essence of eternity, and everything done in love is preserved forever. Maturity does not mean bearing everything alone. Maturity is knowing when to seek support, when to lean on the community, when to rest in my arms. You are not a machine, you are a living soul, and that soul needs to be nourished with prayer, with stillness, with love, with hope. When you learn to nourish your soul, you will have enough strength to nurture others. I see in you not only a warrior, but a father, a mother, a teacher, a friend, a person capable of lifting, guiding, and inspiring. I want you to realize that what you are living today can be a compass for others. They will look to you to find answers, strength, and hope. And that is both the honor and the great responsibility I have placed upon you. I know there will be days when you feel weary, want to stop, want to give up. But remember that in those moments I am whispering into your soul, you are not alone. You do not bear it alone. You are not lost. Every step you take bears my footprints beside you. Every tear you shed is caught by me. Every sigh you breathe is heard by me. And I will turn all of it into the melody of a greater song, a song of hope and victory. My child, enter this stage of maturity with a humble heart. Humility does not mean lowering yourself, but knowing that all goodness you possess comes from the eternal source of life. Humility will keep you from pride and success and from despair and failure. Humility helps you stand firm amidst the storms, for you know you do not need to carry everything alone. Humility makes you a pure channel through which love and strength can flow without end. Beloved child, I invite you to become a source of encouragement for those who are at the beginning of their journey. Remember that you once stood in weakness, confusion, and lostness. Now you can be the light for those going through the same. Do not keep your precious lessons to yourself. Share them with others. Do not hide your scars, for those very scars may bring healing to someone else. Do not hesitate to lift others up, for it is in giving that you will be filled even more. Continue to live with gratitude. Gratitude makes every burden lighter, every challenge an opportunity, every failure a lesson. Gratitude helps you never forget that you are guided, protected, and loved. When you live in gratitude, you will never lack joy, and that joy will become the strength to keep moving forward, to continue giving, and to continue growing. I want you to understand that maturity is an unending journey. There is no end point to spiritual growth. Every day you will learn something new. Each season will broaden your vision. Every challenge will strengthen you. Never think you have reached completeness, for there are deeper layers to explore, wider horizons to experience, and greater heights to reach. And I will be with you at every step of that growth. As you enter this new chapter, let wisdom guide you, let peace be your foundation, and let love be your driving force. Remember, you are not only writing a story for yourself, but contributing a chapter to the eternal song of humanity. You are walking not just for the present, but leaving a mark for the future. You are not living merely to exist, but to create, to love, and to leave a timeless legacy. I bless you as you continue this journey. I bless each step, every decision, every relationship. I bless your family, your work, and your dreams. I bless you to be a source of light, a flame, a beacon for others. And I promise that when you are faithful, I will open doors you never imagined, accomplish great works beyond your understanding, and lead you into harvests of abundance unlike anything you have ever known. Walk with courage, humility, faith, and love. Know that you are not only a victor, but a builder, a sower, a bearer of legacy. Let your life stand as proof that light always triumphs over darkness, that love always triumphs over hatred, and that hope always triumphs over despair. And when you live this way, you will grow not only for yourself, but also pave the way for generations to come. Beloved child, you have passed through trials, stood firm in victory, and grown in love and unity. Now I call you to offer your entire life as a living sacrifice, not partially, not fleetingly, but fully, body, mind, soul, and even your innermost dreams. For only when you give all will you receive all in fullness. Do not fear surrender. The world thinks giving is loss, but in my kingdom giving is the path to abundance. When you surrender your fears to me, you will receive peace. When you surrender your tears to me, you will receive joy. When you surrender what you think is failure, I will turn it into a stepping stone for victory. When you surrender your entire life, I will transform it into a living testimony of miracle and grace. Remember, nothing you give to me is wasted. All becomes seeds that will bear fruit 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Surrender does not mean losing your identity. It is finding your true self in love. When you let go of control, you will discover who you are in eternal light. When you relinquish selfish ambition, you will recognize your sacred purpose. When you surrender your wounds, you will see them become a source of healing for others. It is through giving that you become whole, for love is never kept for oneself, but flows continuously to renew and transform. I know surrender may cause anxiety. If I give everything, will I have anything left? But I tell you truly, when you give all, you lose nothing. You enter an abundance you never knew before. Like a river flowing into the sea, it does not disappear, but merges with the infinite ocean. So it is with you. When you immerse yourself in eternal love, you will find fulfillment far beyond understanding. When you live for something greater than yourself, you will see the true meaning of life. Let your life become an altar, where love is offered like a sweet fragrance. Do not think this altar exists only in formal moments of prayer. It is every moment of your life. When you love, you are worshiping. When you forgive, you are offering a sacrifice. When you sacrifice for others, you are singing a hymn of praise. Every aspect of your life, even in the smallest details, can become a sacred act when lived in love. You need to understand that complete surrender does not take away your freedom, but grants you true freedom. For true freedom is not doing whatever you wish, but living within the purpose for which you were created. When you surrender, you are no longer bound by fear or ambition, but are set free to live out all the potential I have planted within you. Surrender unlocks every hidden treasure inside you, enabling you to become the most radiant version of yourself. I call you to surrender your time, not only your idle hours, but even the busiest days. When you place me at the center, all other things will fall into their proper order. Surrender to me your relationships so they may be purified and become sources of blessing. Surrender your work so it becomes more than a means of livelihood, but a tool for love to be spread. Surrender even your dreams so they serve not only yourself, but become bridges of hope for many others. Surrender also means becoming an instrument in my hands. Just as a musical instrument cannot produce sound on its own, but in the hands of a skilled musician, it releases a beautiful melody. So you too, when placed in my hands, will see your life resonate with melodies you have never heard. These melodies will not only bring you joy, but touch the hearts of many. Your life will become a symphony of hope, healing unity, and boundless love. Knowing this surrender is never solitary. Every time you give, you are joining a greater current, the current of all souls united in love. Your prayers mingle with millions of others, creating waves that uplift humanity. The acts of love you offer lay the foundation for a new world. You do not give into emptiness, you give in unity, and that unity has the power to transform the universe. In this season, I invite you to surrender with joy, not reluctance. For when you surrender with joy, your offering becomes a song of praise. When you surrender willingly, it carries the power to touch many lives. When you surrender in love, it becomes a light that spreads far and wide. And I promise you, no act of surrender you offer will ever be wasted. All will become seeds of miracle. Understand that complete surrender is not a single act but a way of life. Every day, you are invited to choose love over selfishness, forgiveness over resentment, hope over despair. Every day you have the opportunity to transform ordinary life into a sacred ritual. When you live this way, your life becomes an unceasing prayer, and the love within you becomes an inexhaustible wellspring. Surrender does not diminish you. It makes you great in the light. When you release your ego, you enter into union with the Source. When you surrender completely, you discover the boundless power I have planted within you. When you live in surrender, you become proof that there is a love stronger than all suffering, a life stronger than death, and a light stronger than all darkness. Give all and you will see everything transformed. Offer your pain and it becomes a lesson. Offer your joy and it becomes praise. Offer your weakness and it becomes an opportunity for strength to be revealed. Offer your whole life and it becomes a miracle for many others. This is the path of surrender, the path to fulfillment, freedom, and everlasting glory. Beloved child, when you choose to offer your life, you open the door for me to work fully through you. Remember, surrender does not only transform you, but creates ripples that reach throughout humanity. A whispered prayer in a quiet room can touch the heart of someone far away. A small act of love can change the trajectory of an entire life. You may never know the full impact of your surrender, but I know, and I will multiply it many times over to bring blessing to countless people. Surrender is not merely giving up, it is opening up. When you surrender what you think are limitations, you will discover infinite potential. When you surrender your fears, courage will blossom. When you surrender your weakness, strength will surge. When you surrender your past, you step into a renewed future. Surrender is like opening locked doors, so light may flood in, and when the light comes, darkness has no place to hide. Surrender is also a declaration that you do not belong to darkness, but to the light. Each time you give a part of your life to me, you proclaim to the universe that you choose life over death, love over hatred, hope over despair, and this choice not only brings freedom to you, but also breaks the chains for many other souls. You are not only giving to me, you are representing many others, calling forth the light upon the earth. I want you to become a vessel full of life. When the vessel is empty, I can fill it. When it is overflowing with love, it will flow to others. Do not fear feeling empty, for it is in emptiness that you can be filled with inexhaustible fullness. You were not created to hold for yourself alone, but to be a conduit. Love, joy, peace, strength, everything I pour into you will not remain in you, but flow through you to reach countless others. I know that sometimes you ask yourself, does my small act of surrender really matter? I tell you it does. For in my kingdom, no offering is ever small. A single tear you offer in prayer can ripple through the heavens. A word of forgiveness you speak can break chains that have bound generations. A quiet act of kindness can become a guiding light for someone who is lost. Do not underestimate the value of surrender, for often the quietest, smallest acts carry the greatest power. Do not forget, surrender is also the path to deep unity with me. When you surrender, there is no distance between you and the Creator. No walls remain built from fear or doubt, only harmony between your soul and my heart. In that place you will feel the sacred presence in every breath, every step, every word. You will see that no moment is separate from love, for your entire life has become a stream flowing into eternity. Let surrender become a way of life, not a momentary act. Do not give only when you feel weak, but also when you are strong. Do not give only when you need help, but also when you have abundance. Do not give only on dark days, but also on days filled with light. Surrender is not limited by circumstances. It is the continuous breath of a soul that has found meaning in love. True surrender is not coercion. It is voluntary. I never force you to give. I only invite open my arms and wait for your response. When you give willingly, your action becomes a sweet fragrance rising to the heavens. When you give voluntarily, your gift carries the power to heal. When you live voluntarily in love, the heavens rejoice for a soul that has found the path of life. Let surrender touch every aspect of your life. Do not give only your soul, but also your mind, so your thoughts may be renewed, purified, and enlightened. Do not give only your actions, but also your words, so that your lips become streams of encouragement, comfort, and truth. Do not give only a portion of your time, but your entire day, so that every moment bears the mark of love. When your whole life becomes an offering, you will see everything sanctified from the great to the ordinary. Remember that surrender not only transforms the present, but leaves a mark in eternity. One day when you look back, you will see that every drop of sweat, every tear, every act of love you have given is preserved as precious jewels in the sacred treasury. And the reward for you is not fleeting joy, but everlasting glory. Let this truth motivate you so you never grow weary or think your offering is in vain. Beloved child, your surrender is helping to build a new world. When you forgive, the world becomes lighter. When you love, the world becomes warmer. When you sacrifice, the world becomes just. And when millions of souls surrender together, this world will reflect the eternal kingdom. You cannot change everything at once, but you can sow seeds every day, and these seeds will bring about a collective harvest. Do not fear that surrender will make you lose yourself. On the contrary, surrender will reveal your true self, a person unbound by fear, unshackled from the past, unrestricted by circumstance, free in love, strong in faith, radiant in light. When you dare to give, you will find yourself renewed, living fully, and transformed into the best version of yourself as I created from the beginning. Step onto this path of surrender with courage. Do not hesitate, do not doubt, do not allow uncertainty to slow you. Give all your joys, your sorrows, your dreams, and even your fears. Offer everything to me, and you will see that nothing is lost. All is transformed into treasures in eternity. This is what I desire for you, a life complete, abundant, and fulfilled in everlasting love. My child, now as I close these words, I want you to pause and sense a deep truth. The journey you have traveled is not meaningless. It is a sacred story of victory, love, and divine transformation. You have been tested in fire, shaped in storms, supported through tears, and risen in the light. Today you are no longer the weak soul of yesterday, but a radiant spirit, a steadfast warrior, a lamp that cannot be hidden. And I say to you with all pride and love, you have truly triumphed. Know this, beloved, this victory is not yours alone, but for all who will be touched by your life. Every word you speak, every action you take, every step you walk will reflect light and bring hope to others. You are called not only to live for yourself, but to become living proof that love is stronger than pain, faith greater than fear, and hope can blossom even in desolation. As you walk in surrender, you carry that light to a world longing to be illuminated. Remember, you are no longer defined by the wounds of the past, but by the strength you have discovered through overcoming them. You are no longer limited by failures, but by the courage you show when rising again. You are no longer bound by darkness, but by the light you radiate. Look upon yourself in the mirror of your soul, and you will see not a small person, but a masterpiece, a sacred work woven by me with eternal love. This is not the end, but a beginning. The journey ahead still holds much for you to explore, many depths, to step into many miracles to witness. I do not call you to stop. I call you to continue soaring. Just as the eagle is never satisfied with circling low mountains, but seeks the strong winds to rise to great heights, so too are you. Today's victory is the foundation for greater glories, the doorway to a new season, a season of fullness and complete unity. I know that at times you will feel weary, but in those moments remember that your strength does not come from yourself, but from the endless love surrounding you. Never think that you walk alone, for with every step you take, I walk with you. I am ahead to open the path, beside you to uphold you, and behind to guard you. You are safe in my arms, and no force can separate you from eternal love. I want you to look forward with eyes of hope. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow is held in my hands. Do not let fear cause you to falter, for you are enveloped in an unending promise. Do not hesitate to step into new lands, for I have prepared them for you since the dawn of creation. Let hope be a flame in your heart, so you may shine even in darkness. And let faith be your wings, so you may rise above every obstacle. Beloved child, I call you to continue sowing seeds. Sow seeds of love, even when you are uncertain of the harvest. Sow seeds of hope, even when those around you despair. Sow seeds of forgiveness, even when wounds still ache. Sow seeds of unity, even when division remains. For I promise that no seed falls in vain. All will bear fruit in due season. Be patient, for your harvest will come, and it will be more abundant than you have ever dreamed. Keep your heart in humility. Humility does not mean diminishing your worth, but recognizing that all you have comes from grace. Humility keeps you steady, even when exalted. Humility keeps you steadfast, even when humbled. Humility opens the door for love, to pour forth, for grace, to cover, and for wisdom to guide. When you live in humility, you become fertile ground where seeds of love may continually flourish. Know that you are part of my grand design. You are never meaningless, never alone, never forgotten. You are an indispensable link in the chain of the universe, a note in the symphony of life, a light on the city upon the hill. When you live fully in love, you walk not just for yourself, but help create the magnificent tapestry of humanity. As you close this chapter and open the next, hold this promise in your heart: I am always with you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever you face, I never leave. My love for you is eternal, unchanging, the foundation no one can shake. Let this love be your compass, your strength, your comfort, your joy, your all. Live each day as evidence that love always triumphs. I bless you as you enter this new season. I bless you with strength in weariness, peace in storms, joy in trials, hope amidst darkness. I bless your family, your community, your generation. I bless you to become a source of light, hope, and love. And I promise that blessing will follow you, not only in this life, but for all eternity. Walk with confidence, for you know who you are. You are my beloved, chosen, victorious. Walk with joy, for each day is a gift. Walk with hope, for your future is full of promise. Walk with love, for love is the foundation of all things. Walk in surrender, for only by giving all can you receive the fullness that never fades. Beloved child, here is my final whisper into your heart today. You have triumphed, you are triumphing, and you will continue to triumph. Not because you are stronger than all, but because you never walk alone. Not because you have never fallen, but because you always rise in love. Not because you are perfect, but because you are enveloped in perfect grace. And this is what defines you: a steadfast soul, a living testimony of love, an eternal light. My child, walk with faith, with joy, with hope, and with love. For this is your time, this is your journey, this is your inheritance. And in all things always remember, I love you with an everlasting love, and that love will never leave you. Amen. Thank you for listening to today's message. Subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may receive the living words that build an unshakable faith and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.